They can go and, hate on somebody else's flag, or they can continue to hate on our flag for all I care. I think the first time I saw the U.S. flag being burned, it was in Vietnam. And I've seen it many times since then, haven't I? Yes. Not the least of which was good old Iran in 1984. Remember that? Yeah. Seems everybody around the world likes to burn the bloody thing. That's good, I guess. Glad it's keeping somebody warm. But for all the goddamn sacrifice, for all the suffering, for all the... Man, the list goes on. I could go on for 6 hours about everything that flag stands for. And certainly for it to be treated within its own borders in this manner, to me, is sickening. Which is exactly, of course, how I felt in 2010 when my kid comes home from school in the good old U.S.A. in New York State with a little letter for the parents telling us that there are 4 days out of the school year that our children cannot display an American flag anywhere on their person, not on their hats, not on their sneakers, not on their T-shirts, not on their backpacks. You can't have a patch on your coat, etc., etc. 4 days out of the year. Yeah, not even kidding. And it's been that way ever since. And in fact, some of the other, clothing restrictions, we'll call them, apparently are an attempt to control or minimize, I should say, gang violence. Because, of course, we all know the red is the blood and the crypt is the blue, right? What about MS-13? They've got 3 colors. Yes, they do. Mexican ones, to be exact. And isn't it funny that on that note home from school, one of the days that she was not to wear an American flag to a school in New York State was, what do you think? That's right, it was Cinco de Mayo. Yeah, Cinco de Mayo, that Mexican holiday that was popularized in the U.S. by a chain of restaurants, not mentioning any names, wanting to sell supersized margaritas and Dos Equis beer. Why that day? When is it safe to say that 99% of the people celebrating it and a higher percentage of the students are going to have a problem with the American flag on that day? Why? Why? Well, I do not understand this whatsoever. Anyway, yours truly, to finish my school story, I sent her to school that day in a white Bruce Springsteen, Born in the U.S.A. t-shirt. And yes, it was mine. It was a little big on her, but she was happy to do it. I sent her with my Naval Special Warfare SEAL Team baseball hat because I didn't actually have one with an American flag on it. I sent her also with my Naval Special Warfare jacket that I have. I got this from a movie set years ago. And I sent her to school in that, and I gave her my backpack, which is actually it's got U.S. military camo pattern on the backpack, and it's got the American flag on the flap. I sent her to school in all that gear, and to top it all off, I sent her in a pair of DC skate shoes that had silk-screened into them the American flag. And do you know, I was expecting, I was waiting. Let me tell you, I was waiting. I was watching my cell phone for that email notification to come in at 2 p.m. from the teachers, because that's usually their time. That's when they like to hit you. Oh, your child beat up another kid today, or your child swore, or your child did this or that. The 2 o'clock's kind of the magic hour in the afternoon. You look for that kind of stuff. So I was waiting. I was waiting for it. Come on. The only thing that I didn't do to this kid to completely complete the Captain America look was to get her an American flag for a cape. Okay, that's how blatant I was being about this little situation here. Well, the school didn't call me. They didn't call me. They didn't email me. They haven't mentioned it to this day. And she came home wearing all the same stuff, so I know they didn't strip her down naked and she didn't do school naked. That's because, ladies and gentlemen, when put to that kind of a test, nobody nobody is going to screw with you, right? Wrong. I wish I was kidding, but I'm not kidding. Yesterday, ladies and gentlemen, Monday, the 9th of March, 2015, the 9th U.S. Circuit Court, yes, a federal court, highest court in the land, ladies and gentlemen, ruled that the display of the American flag can be banned in a school. Get this. This is their reasoning. If enough hoodlums threaten violence and the school lacks the will to do anything about it. So in other words, if the school's getting bullied, oh, and of course, right, in America we have zero tolerance for terrorists. We don't negotiate with terrorists. We have zero tolerance for bullies. They've claimed too many lives. Remember all that bullshit about 3 years ago? All the hashtag Save Jenny and the hashtag Save Ryan and all the kids that were getting killed and committing suicide because of bullies? And what did we do? We as a nation came out there and we spoke to the great lands from the east and the west and we said, no more will we tolerate bullies. Screw you. You will not get 1 inch in this country. Didn't we say that? Yes, we did. But now what does our Superior Court, Ninth Circuit say? Well, if enough hoodlums threaten violence, that's bullying. Hello. How can a Supreme Court issue a ruling like that indicating that the flag can be banned in a situation if enough bullies are threatening the school and the school lacks the will to do anything about it? And think about that statement there for a minute. Let's just break that last half down. And the school lacked the will to do anything about it. What they're saying there is if enough bullies get together and the school's frickin' lazy and doesn't care, they can go ahead with the blessing of the Supreme Court of the land. Yes, any state is what this ruling applies to. Really? So what? Let's see, 4 or 5 of the Muslims in our great country, they get together and put on some black hoodies and black masks and go and threaten to behead other kids unless they take down the American flag in school X. Well, the school's got to do it then, right? Well, yeah, we don't negotiate with terrorists. Yeah, we don't. This is just laughable, America. This is sad. I've got more country pride now in Canada. And let me tell you, they've got a sad history. There wasn't a whole lot to leave in Canada as far as national pride went. Let me put it that way. And then I come to America and I think, finally, a great country. No, it's not. Are you kidding me? Yeah. So, if you got bullies and stuff. Really? This is the Supreme Court saying this. Well, MSNBC actually is running a poll on their website right now. And, they want to know what you think, America. Yeah. What do you think about banning the American flag in our own goddamn country? Really? What do you think? Well, I can tell you what they think as of about 40 minutes ago. Total amount of votes collected is close to 6.5 million right now. The options for you to click are, no, this is a lame decision. Teach the kids what the flag actually means instead of banning it. Option number 2 is, yes, the safety of students comes first. Option number 3 is, not sure, but of all things to ban, the American flag would seem the least incendiary. And then, of course, the 4th option is other, post a comment. Well, out of the 6.5 million votes taken so far, as of 40 minutes ago, 5.5 million say no, this is a lame decision. Teach the kids what the flag means instead of banning it. 86% of the votes totaled to this hour. Yes, the safety of students comes first. An astonishing 10% of those polled. That's almost 700,000 votes. Morons out there who say that, yes, the safety of the students comes first. Well, I would submit to you and your American history, since when has anybody's personal safety come before this flag? Stop and think about that for a minute. It's kind of an important question. Not sure, but of all the things to ban, the American flag would seem the least incendiary. Do you know only 10,000 people selected that one? And then in the other category, posting their own comments, which I will not read because they are too absolutely retarded to repeat on the air, 3.47%, about 200,000 morons out there drooling. Yeah, drool's actually hitting their shoes. Yeah. But, I mean, here's one of the big questions. What kind of country do we live in when our Supreme Court rules that the American flag can be banned in a school if an instance of hoodlums threatening violence and the school lacks the will to do anything about it? Well, I know I've been saying ever since I got to this country about how horrid K through 12 is in this country as far as education goes, but I've also learned a kind of another side of education, and that is the school systems themselves and the administration and faculty of those schools. They don't care. They just don't care. So what does the Supreme Court do? They throw that blanket in there. Well, if the school lacks the will to do anything about it, go ahead and just ban the flag. Well, that's just about every school I've heard of in this country. They completely lack the will. Ladies and gentlemen, you're 53 in the world for education. K through 12. Yeah. 53rd. Behind some third world countries, by the way. Well, apparently Live Oaks High School in Morgan Hill, California, allows the celebration of Cinco de Mayo. As I told you earlier, it's a Mexican holiday that was first popularized in the U.S. by a chain of restaurants wanting to sell supersized margaritas and Dos Equis beer. Why that day? When is it safe to say 99% of the people celebrating it and a higher percentage of the students at Live Oak High School, regardless of heritage, have never heard of the Battle of Puebla and couldn't find it on a map? And that's, of course, the other problem with America. We don't teach anything to do with our history, really, do we? Oh, sure, the funny little anecdotes about, well, George Washington had wooden teeth. Wow, really? Yeah, but don't teach about the Holocaust. Don't teach about the Second World War. Hell, don't talk about Vietnam. What are you doing? That's not education. Right. No, except for all of those would actually give the student a better understanding of foreign policy and how things work and how things have evolved over the decades, wouldn't it? They would learn things like where the Taliban came from and Al-Qaeda, wouldn't they? They would learn who funded them, who trained them. Yes, that would be us. And we don't want to propagate that, no. So let's just keep the kids out of the whole world political picture, full stop. Keep them stupid. And what do our parents do all across this country? We allow it. Yeah. I don't. No way. Yours truly was on the phone. As soon as I heard that they don't teach those things in our schools here, I was shocked and appalled because in Canada, we learn all about that stuff. Yes, the boring Canadian history, too, about the idiot in the canoe going up and down St. Lawrence River selling beaver pelts or some crap, but what does that matter? It doesn't. That's why they teach American history in Canadian schools. We know about that stuff. I come down here, you guys don't know about that stuff. What? So yeah, I did take our local school district to task on that.